No doubt he answered. Recollect hearing some shouting, commotions from outside the vehicle. I lifted myself off the seat to glance out the back window and saw two of my instructors pointing at the vehicle I was into, one of the recreation area managers. This is when things got terrifying for my little self. As I was peering out the back window, the man shouted as loud as possible to get down. I kicked so frightened I away to cry. What's more, these days, kidnapping is turning into a genuine truth in our lives, and it's exceptionally hazardous, particularly for youngsters. So today we are telling you true kidnapping story and kidnapper horror story. Being a small child is an unnerving point in your life, yet you're excessively youthful and blameless to try and acknowledge it. I have a terrible memory from my youth that I wish I could essentially shut out totally, yet I just can't. I accepted 6 or 7 years of age. I was at the mid-year rec program that my folks had marked me up for. I was in the 6. What's more, 7-year-olds bunch, the most youthful bunch at the camp. One day our gathering was at the jungle gym, and some oldish man sitting on a seat began conversing with me. He knew my name. I felt entirely all right with him, like he appeared to be benevolent. He gave me a candy that I ate on the spot, and he proposed to push me on the swing. I think I let him know that is okay and proceed conversing with him, asking him stupid little kid questions. He presented himself as Rob. I actually recollect to the day, and let me know he was companions with my mother since she was running late. He'd need to jolt of energy after camp. I said okay, and around that time, my instructor yelled for our gathering to collect our line by the entryway so we could leave. We returned to our gathering's home region, where we would sit tight for the guardians to come get the children. I saw Rob moving toward the seat, and he said to Cal, one of my instructors, that he was getting me for the day since my mother wasn't accessible. Carl checked me out. What's more, ensured I knew him. I gestured my head. Carl checked my name off in his notepad and high-fived me farewell. And I wandered off with this Robbie fellow. I recollect that he got and held my hand as we strolled. I likewise recalled that he was difficult to walk, very quick. Like it for me to stay aware of my close to nothing legs. We came to his vehicle. He drove me in the back front seat. He was by all accounts in a rush. He hurried into his seat, begun the vehicle, locked the entryways, begun driving quick out at the stopping part. I asked, "Are you bringing me back home?" No doubt he answered. Recollect hearing some shouting, commotions from outside the vehicle. I lifted myself off the seat to glance out the back window and saw two of my instructors pointing at the vehicle I was into, one of the recreation area managers. This is when things got terrifying for my little self. As I was peering out the back window, the man shouted as loud as possible to get down. I kicked so frightened I away to cry. What's more, took a stab at opening the entryway when he was at a red light, yet he had the kid lock on. He attempted to quiet me somewhere near, saying sorry, saying he was driving me home. I can't recollect what precisely I was expressing gratitude toward. However, I really do recollect being terrified, beginning to contemplate whether I was in fact being brought back. We were in the vehicle for a long while. I begun to acknowledge I didn't perceive where we were not remotely close. My home, it seemed like I needed to hurl from being so terrified. I recall Rob mumbling goodness gracious continually. Softly, he continued to examine his rearview reflect. Then a police alarm straightforwardly behind us made him shout out of frustration. Again, he pulled to the side on a local street and told me to oblige anything that he said. However, he didn't get an opportunity for that. Two cops stomped out from the vehicle with their firearms half drawn and shouted at Rob to get out of the vehicle with his hands up. He did as such undeniably. What's more, was handcuffed while they made them lay face first on the substantial. He was brought into the vehicle while the other official stayed with me to support me and asked me inquiries. Another cop vehicle shown up, thus did my mother in her minivan. She was in tears, embraces me when she got out, so backing up when Rob, or anything his genuine name was, strolling me to his vehicle. My mother had previously gotten to the seat to get me when Carl told her some man currently got me. That is the point at which they rushed to get what vehicle we got into and summoned the police. Right, one of camp bosses was really telling us out and about, which is the reason Carl was overreacting and how the police had the option to find us now. You can see the reason why I wish I could shut this memory out. It's upsetting, it's nauseating, and I frequently need to ponder the awful, unbelievable things that might have been done to me on the off chance that I had not been saved.